Hello everybody and welcome to the Paper Outpost. Would you like to come along and watch me create a bundle set? It will be a journal plus other things, this is how I create them, and I thought I might as well bring you along for the ride in case you wanted to see how I make these items. Okay, so I am going to show you how I made this cover. It's a very quick and effective way to make a cover if you're interested in making a fabric cover that is a soft cover for a journal. I will show you my technique. There are many techniques to do this, but here we go. Okay, so what I did was I grabbed an old quilt that I came across in my treasure hunting, and I thought, oh, this just feels like, I don't know, grandma, you know what I mean? It just feels so soft and wonderful, and this would be fabulous to make journals out of. But I had a few issues with like thinking about how to make it so that, you know, when you cut the material, it wouldn't all fuzz out on you and things like that at the edges. And I also, an easy way to assemble it with items that most people have. So here we go. All right, so let me just give you a tour of the prototype. This is the prototype. I'm selecting the 9x6 size journal because that's the easiest one to make, because when you fold an 8.5x11 piece of paper inside, you don't have to do any trimming. Ta-da! So that makes journal construction much easier. It removes steps or friction. So anywhere you can remove steps or friction, if you're going to be making several of these, let's say for Christmas presents, or you're going to be selling them, or for a craft show, a gift bazaar, whatever, silent auction, this is an easy way to cut out a few steps. Okay, here we go. I hope I can remember how I made it. I just made it. Okay. All right. I think we're going to do just fine. Okay. So let me show you exactly what I did. I made a couple and I removed some steps. So I wanted to show you what was helpful. Okay. So let's get our material in question. And here is the critter. It's a quilt. Okay. It's about that thick. I don't know, maybe half an inch, something like that, I don't know. But regular like thin quilt style. And I was working on this end. So I am just going to put, oops, this whole baby up here on my desk. And I'm gonna work in this area. So I'm gonna come over here, bring you over here. All right, so we're gonna work in this corner. Now the easiest thing, sorry, I had to reignite my wired guy because my other little guy, my wireless mic, I don't know if you can see that, fell apart again. I have to figure out how to put him back together. So he did survive being put back together on his own once, and I'm gonna try it again, but just not right now. Okay, so here we go. The easiest thing I found to work with as your covers, the structure of the cover, are manila folders. Yeah, so regular size manila folders, not the big ones, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna use 2 for this project, and we're going to cut them 9x6 and then cut it out also here. So I'm gonna measure 6, cut that down, and then measure down at the 9 and cut it across. So I'm gonna do that with 2 of these so they come out the same size, because as you know, I'm the worst measurer in the world, and sometimes cutting 2 things at the same time will yield better results. To a degree, you can put a certain amount of items in there, and your cutter just will choke and you can't cut any more than that, but I think I'll be okay. Okay, just gonna try 2 at a time. Okay, I'm using my guillotine cutter, and 9. Okay. Now I have these 2, and I'm leaving them so they have the fold in them. And what I'm going to do is get rid of the opening. So I'm just going to glue them shut. I'm just going to go around the edge quickly and maybe across. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just to get them together so that they don't flop open inside. They probably wouldn't. You could probably skip this step, but it's a little extra security never hurts. There we go. All right. Hope you're having a dandy day. And you might find this technique very helpful at the holidays or gift giving, because it's a solid technique. And here I go. I'm saying it's going to work great, and we'll just see. All right, here we go. Now, what I chose to do was keep the spine side, the closed side. I want to keep that on the edges of the cover. So I'm going to take the first one, which is close to this edge, and I'm going to glue that down first. I'm being mindful that I want to keep this sealed edge or the spine side near here. So I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to grab some Fabrifix glue, fabric to fabric, fabric to paper, paper to paper. And I say that like that because I often get asked, why do you use Fabrifix? Why is it good? Why do you find it handy? And those are the different ways you can use it, and it's handy in all of those circumstances, and it glues fast, and it's kind of like a cold hot glue, you know, in my experience. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to put this close to the edge with just showing a little bit because I might want to do a little trimming. Okay, but just make sure you get to the edge. Same thing, keeping the spine side here, turning it over to put the glue on. And then you just plop it down. You don't need to finger smoosh here because this is going on a thick material and will not bleed through. Okay, now I'm just going to leave maybe 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch in the middle to allow for spine room, but not much more than that because this is going to be a one signature journal. It would be nice if it was even. But the nice thing about having a spineless journal like this is it makes the cover very soft. You don't have any issues in the center here, and it's very easy to punch through, which also makes it easy. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around and trim this off. You can use a rotary cutter to do it, which might be faster, but mine is dull, so I'm just going to use the old-fashioned scissors. Yes, Pam can scissor cut. She can, when she puts her mind to it, she can scissor cut. And this is not such a big deal. This fabric's not super thick or anything like that. Fabric scissors do come in handy here. Will make your cutting life so much easier. And if you only use them for fabric, which is, I know, oh, so hard to do. So hard because they're so sharp and they're always handy and they're right there. You just want to grab them to snip that little thing. I do it all the time. I'm the worst. But if you can just use them on fabric, you'll be much happier. Okay, there we go. So we can just remove that from the field of view. Now, I didn't get that straight here, so I might want to come in here and just trim this up a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want it to be a little closer to the edge. This is where probably the rotary cutter would remove this step if you want to even do it a little faster. And it's not like I don't have blades. They just have to be changed. I'm a lazy crafter when it comes down to it. But it's true, it's true. Let me toot this in a little bit more. Because remember, our cards are 9 by 6, but everything that hangs over is going to add width and height to our journal. So you don't want to have too much if you're going to be working with the 8 by 6s to have it all be nicey nice. So, and remember, you've added a little bit of width here also because of the spine, just a smidge, not much. But there we go. Okay, so now we want to add our central, our inside material, which has gone where? Where did you go? Hello, there you are. Okay, so I'm going to use this pretty, it's almost like it's a bed sheet. I think it's a bed sheet. It's a muslin of some sort. It's very pretty. And I'm just going to tear this to size. I think that's going to be the easiest way to do it. There's 1,000,001 ways to do this. You could do wrapping around before, but we're just going to keep it very simple. So if you have a straight edge, maybe you got lucked out and have a straight edge. Just put it where you want it to be. And then make a little snip. And this is where you hope you do it right. And a little snip. Okay, and then we just tear. This is like dusty fabric, I don't know why. Okay, all right. Now, if all went well, in the land of Oz, we are good. Because we can always do a little trimming at the end. But now we're gonna come back with the Fabrifix. Let me get you a little more overhead here. And I'm just going to put it close to the edges. Close here. Square. I like to do, I've got long sleeves. Don't do this with long sleeves because you'll get gluey. All right, here we go. Come on down, come on down. And then come down here. And then come on. Okay, I didn't do my X. Do your X. I don't know why. It's like I feel good about the X. Put a decent amount. Not too super thick and blobs. And here I might recommend if you're using a thinner material like a muslin, which might show bleed through, just use the old finger smoosh technique to knock down any of those bigger bubbles. And then you shouldn't have too much of a bleed through problem. Fabrifix is pretty good to avoid bleed through. Because it's not a wet white glue, that one you tend to get a lot of bleed through, but you can still work with it. It just works differently. Okay, so now I'm going to place my matte fabric that magically is going to fit with very minimal measuring. Okay, make sure you have it there. Make sure you have it here. You start from the center and smoosh out, smoosh out. Okay, now we're going to turn it over and see how far off we are, which is probably pretty far off because I didn't measure. All right, so I've got a little bit of overhang here, so I can just come along and trim that. Or, you know, if you measured really well in the beginning, you don't need to do any of that nonsense, but I always seem to be doing a little extra trimming. But as you can see, these can come together relatively quickly. All right. And like I said, the rotary cutter would come in handy here if you're a brave soul to use that and not lose your appendages. All right, there we go. So now we're just going to zigzag stitch around this to seal it. And that's going to pull, see, we've got the fuzzy batting on the inside. We want to seal that in so that it doesn't come off on people's clothing and things like that. And I think that's the biggest thing with the quilt is it's got the fuzzy batting. So here's a way to handle that. You seal it with the zigzag stitch. So if you put your big sewing girl pants on and got brave and got one of these, straight stitch and zigzag stitch are your best friends. You can do anything, but this is a great place to start. I'm using a wider, I mean my stitches are a little farther apart, a little wider. Maybe I'll make them a little wider. Okay, just because it'll grab the material better. So I'm grabbing the material front and back along with a little bit of the file folder in the middle, but it doesn't really matter if you miss the file folder, it's okay, because it's still sealing everything in, which is what you want. You want a nice seal, like a Tupperware seal, yeah. You don't have to burp it, no. All right, now go at a medium speed because you're doing a little bit of thickness here. And there probably are better feet to use. I don't know what they are. But there's probably, I seem to be doing fine with the regular one, or at least it hasn't choked on me yet. It seems to be compliant, and that's all I want. I just want to stick it in here, have it sew, and let me go and be gone back to what I'm doing. All right, work with me, not against me, right? Oh, sewing machine, that's right. Because, you know, I will push you to your limits, little buddy. But you've been good so far, so I can't complain. And we're coming down the home stretch. I would recommend a little back stitch. Oh no, we're not in the home stretch. One more turn, one more turn. Okay, turning. And now, I'm just gonna rearrange a little bit, get what looks like straight. And there might be a little rumpling, but that's okay because it's quilted material. So the quilt actually hides some of the rookie sewing that is occurring before your eyes here. Yes, so that's kind of the nicety of the quilted cover. And there's something about a quilt, you know, that's just warm and home and hearth and snuggly, and it just says, hey, you know, it just says, hey. Okay, I backstitched there to lock it in. Nope, apparently I missed it. Okay, so I should just go back in there and backstitch all over that again. So if you get a case of that, just go back in and do it again. Yeah, I don't know why that happens. I'm sure there's some reason. Okay, maybe, whoop, backstitch to lock that in, and then carry on. Okay. Oh, no, missed it. Okay, oh, let's turn the corner. And then backstitch. I'll just back right off. Okay, that should be enough. There we go. I've backstitched all I can backstitch. All right, so let's bring it back here. Hope I don't accidentally turn you off. I have a habit of doing that. I'm so sorry. So if you see me disappear from a video at the end, it's I hit the wrong button. That would be me. That would be me. Okay, so now we're doing our little assessment. Let me put you on the next one, zoom. So if there's anything that needs to be a little trimmed off, you can just come in here and trim it. Try not to cut your stitching, but you can just go along and check the edge to make sure everything is the way you want it to be, that it's all sealed. Yeah, it's all sealed. It's very nice and presentable. Now you can go ahead and sew laces and ribbons and other things like that if you want to. If you wanted to put a tie in between, you could do that too. Before you sewed all of this together is another option if you like to have the sash that ties that way. So you have a lot of options. But anyway, this is just phase one of making a little journal. All right. So hang on a second. Okay, right now I am collating pages, so I'm going to put, I believe 20 pages, full-size pages, maybe 25, we shall see. Hold on. Okay, almost done, just touching base so my camera does not turn off. Right back. Okay, everybody, I am back, and I have my collection of I went for 25. I'm going to go with 25, and we're going to see how it goes. But I think it's going to give us a nice sized journal with 100 pages in it. And I grabbed a collection of, I'm going to put a coffee dyed envelope in the center. I think that will be fun, just a nice little surprise in the center. And then I did a random collection of papers. You can use regular white coffee paper, that's perfectly fine, or whatever you have around you. If you have copy paper, maybe you want to give it a little color with some food coloring or Kool-Aid or coffee or tea or whatever you like. So I'm just going to give you a quick peek through of the different kinds of papers that I used. So here's a specialty ink green. Here is some coffee dyed calligraphy style paper, some old book page, avocado dyed paper with the brilliant dark pink because of the baking soda. Here is some printed paper, some coffee, I think that's, yeah, coffee dyed, and some old sailing book pages, more of the beautiful green, some beautiful prints, some college rule that was dyed, some beautiful old music paper, some pretty printed paper, more avocado, some newsprint paper that was dyed, some beautiful coffee dyed golden paper, some pages from books, some like this is like a newsprint style paper, and most of these will have very close to, here's a beautiful old ledger piece of paper in here, and a vibrant avocado dyed pink paper. Okay, so now let me see if I can zoom out again so we get a little more elbow room here. Okay, let's put this aside. And what I'm going to do, I have to, if I have pictures in here or writing, if I want it all to be correct, I'm doing a quick double check now to make sure everybody is pointed in the right direction. And they are. So now I can just put them together along the bottom and then along this edge. So along the bottom, okay, then along this edge, okay. You might want to do it a couple times just to give it the nice snuggaroo. And make sure that they're all lined up nicely. And you're going to have some pages that are smaller than others, so you want to kind of go and eyeball those just to make sure they're behaving, you know, like they're where they should be, because sometimes they like to migrate. And now it's an opportune time to pull out a paper clip. And here's a mid-size paper clip somebody gave me. Thank you very much. It's so pretty. I've never seen one that size before. So there we go. Now I'm going to fold this in half. This is going to be my edge. I have some pages that are a little longer. Am I sweating about it? No, because I know I am going to probably fold those in and give an extra extension to the page, minimizing the amount of cutting needed. Now the north part, which you could technically do the south part, you could make all your pages come to the, like the long pieces stick out at this end, and then you could fold them up to do little mini pockets inside. But I don't have that many, so I think I might just trim them off for simplicity's sake. Okay, so let's actually do that first. I'm going to pull out the ruler, and I'm going to take you on this journey with me so you can see how it's actually done right from the trenches as the creation happens. And I'm hoping that you're going to see that it's not that bad and that you can do it too, because it's not that bad. And it's only paper, and we're having fun. Okay, so I'm trying for, you know, somewhat straight, and here we go. Yeah, so I probably went through maybe 4 or 5 pages there. That was easy to cut with my craft knife, no big deal. Retracting like a good crafter, and now we're ready to fold. Okay, so here we go. Going to bring this edge to this edge. Now remember, this is probably important. One thing everybody wants to know is how many pages per signature should I put in? And this is the nebulous question that is very hard to answer, but I'm going to give you the, you know, basic rule. 10 to 12 pages per signature will get you through most things. okay? Whether you're going to make a writing journal or a stuffed chunky monkey. If you're solely going writing journal, which this is, I can go up to 20, 25 pages easily in one signature if it's a nice soft cover, because it will mold around the bigger bulk. If you have a stiff board in here and it's not as compliant to wrap around your signature, then you probably want to do a fewer pages per signature, and maybe put multiple signatures in to decrease the hefty bulk. Also know that when you take this and you fold it in half and you do your darndest for everything to line up, it never does. Okay, can we just say that openly and honestly? It just never does, exactly. The more pages you have in here, let me get a better picture for you than that. Here's your outside. Look how far the inside gets pushed forward. It just gets pushed forward because of the bulk in here, okay? So that's going to make your pages migrate out this way. That may make your book, your pages stick outside of your book depending on the size of your cover. Now this cover, let's see how we're going to do here. Okay, this one is going to contain the whole thing because this cover, by nature of design, probably extends another 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch around, just because we're sewing together the edges, and that makes your book a little taller and a little wider than the original 9 by 6. Okay, so that's why we have a little wiggle room there, which is in our favor. Okay, so that's why we can jam more pages in here. Okay, that's the tip there. All right, so bone folder is always helpful here. Gives you a nice little crispy-roo. Okay. And I'm going to snuggle this in here where I would like it. I'm going to put it all in. I'm hoping I can punch through all of this. If I can't, I may have to retreat and do the signature first and then the inside. But I'm going to try and do everything at once. Let's just see how it goes. Let's just see, okay? And for your sake, I'm going to put dots. I don't normally put dots, but I'm going to put dots so if you want to kind of know, about an inch down, somewhere abouts in the middle, and then an inch over here. You can measure this out exactly. I don't find it necessary. It's okay. Maybe I'll make that one a little further north. Yeah, there. Okay. But if you're an inch to a 1/2 inch in, you're probably going to be just fine. And now here's where we pull out our little golden tool that makes my life so much easier. I'm not looking at the back. I'm not looking back here. I'm not looking to see if I'm just looking at those dots. And I'm coming in with my Crocodile 2 Big Bite. And just so you know, if you've never seen it, let me zoom in really close. The top piece, the little silver nipple thing. The bottom piece, the flying saucer silver disc. If you have, these things rotate, okay? So if you're like, whoa, wait, get the, that's not the silver disc. Okay, that's not the, you're going to think it's a flying saucer. It's not. It's got a funny little dent in the hat. Not that one. This one. This one. Okay, and then the silver nipple thing. Okay, the other option you get to see, I think, is gold. Yeah, it's gold. Don't go for the gold. I don't know why. This thing took me forever to figure out. I just stick with what works. Okay, so those are the ones I use. Silver and nipple. Silver flying saucer and the nipple. Silver nipple. Okay, here we go. All right. Let me zoom you back out so you can, oh, I'm sorry, totally seasick at this point, aren't you? Okay, I'm setting it on the middle one, which is it's 1/8. That's the middle size. It's going to give me the middle chomper, okay? Not all the way to the right. That's going to give you the big hole. You don't want that. You want the middle position, okay? The 1/8, that's going to give you the little hole. That's what you want. Okay, well, let's hope it works. Okay, here we go. It's on camera. It's live. We're hoping everything's good. Every time I move the camera, I'm worried I'm going to turn it off. No, turn it off, ma'am. Okay, so I'm looking from the side to see if my little dot is under the chomper and checking for alignment. And, oh, it went through easily. Look at that. It's a glorious day in the craft room when the Crocodile 2, which it generally does. I mean, it's a very powerful tool. So aligning over. And you can get that cradles. I'm doing this one-handed, and I'm not a strong person, so there you go. And I'm not sponsored by them. I just like the tool, just to say. Okay, here we go. Migrate a little. Just make sure all where you want to be, because where you put those holes, where you're going to be. Okay, need two-hander for this one. Okay, three-hander. Okay, maybe I need to retreat. Maybe I'm going through a big, okay, let me just move everything. That'll be great. Maybe I'm going through a big embroidered area or something on the back. Okay. Try here. No, Okay, see, that's the way it goes. I say everything's gonna be easy, and then it's not. Okay, so what's up? Nothing on the back, these two. Okay, they went through that. All right, what is the dilemma? Let me get a needle and just find out. It could be the embroidery. Let me just go through here and see what's going on. No. Yeah, it must be the, I think it's the, no, it's not the embroidery. What is there? Huh. Okay. Okay, that's weird. All right, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna back out. We're gonna punch the hole here first, because whatever it is, I should be able to get through it with this thing. This thing is like super strong. Okay, here we go. Yeah, like nothing. Could it be in the paper? I mean, the paper was no big deal. I'm through the paper. All right, let's try it again. Here we go. Aligning over the hole. Okay, maybe it was just too thick. It had 25 pages, was a push in the envelope there, but I made it. I don't know. So that's the way out of that. If that happens, you retreat. Apparently I made 2 holes. You retreat and you punch them separately, but keeping everything in the same place will behoove you. And you won't really be able to see that there's 2 holes because this is fabric and it's quilty and it sort of all hides itself anyway. You could always put a piece of lace there or something like that, but I think we're just dandy. We're just dandy. Okay. Carrying on in the craft room as things really happen before our eyes. This is how it's done. Okay, so we are almost home free. All we need to do is tie it together. So hold on. Now for this particular design, I think I would like, oh, there's a loose pin. I always grab those. They always seem to go flying. I think I'm going to grab this. I think it's pretty. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it through the needle in the hole. Let's try. Okay, here we go into the land of the unknown. Using a big fat needle eye. Some kind of darn yarn needle eye for the blind. Here we go, going through the hole. And we're through. So this time we're going to want the, we're going to start on the outside because we want this thread to tie on the outside because I think that would be pretty on the outside there. Let's try that. So we're going to do everything backwards. We're going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, come in from the rear. It's a little tricky when you're coming through floofy material like that. You might have to look. Am I through? And then am I through? Okay. I'm through and I'm through. Okay. Pull. This is very easy, even for non-sewers. I want you to know that it's okay. You're not going to be daunted by the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Sounds complicated? It's no big deal. Then we go to the north hole. Not the north pole, but the north hole. We're through. Using a blunt needle makes it much easier if you're a rookie sewer like me, because I tend to hurt myself easily. So there you go. You could also use embroidery thread or any other kind of twine or waxed linen thread. I'm coming down to the south. I got to find the right hole. Okay, so I'm going to look. That's the right hole? No, I think it's the other hole. That hole. Yeah, it's that hole. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we have that. And we're coming through. This is going to be such a pretty, such a squishy, fun journal. It's got grandma all over it. I just love that. Okay, here we go. Coming through here. Now you want to try not to pierce your actual ribbon because then you're going to kind of fight through the ribbon. You don't want to fight through the ribbon. Okay. Okay, did we not fight through the ribbon? Did we? I think we did okay. Yay! Okay, so this is what it looks like on the back. Now, we're going to just do a quick check on the front. We've got this big loop. That means we didn't pull through far enough, so let's pull through more. Nope. Okay, this one maybe. Yeah, there we go. So make sure everybody is snug on the outside and on the inside. You can do rearranging, but you just want to make sure everybody's looking good. Okay, so we're looking good. Come here and we're looking good. And the most important thing here, see, I did split the ribbon. See that? That happens. That happens. Okay. Especially with a ribbon because, or a trim because it's, there's so many holes. Okay, yeah, that's what you do. You snip it off. All right, so now you get your angel wings and you put one angel wing on the left and one angel wing on the right under the bridge. And then you tie your knot. So you're pulling snug, but not tight. Okay, right over left, and then left over right. Gives a knot wealth. strength and might. There, I just made that up. So I probably am going to do a bow or something in there, so I'll just kind of put that in there so you can see what that looks like. I'll just do the angle cut. That wasn't a very good angle cut, Pam. Go back and angle cut that nicely. Okay, and there we go. And then your journal is donesies. Yeah, I mean, wasn't that easy? You got this soft, squishy, yet strong, yet functional journal. Now you can come in here if you got hangover. You just come in, you fold a few of these in. That's okay to do. You can glue them at the top and the bottom, or just on the bottom to make pockets, or you can leave it up to the person who is receiving the journal. And there you go. That magically handled all of that. Look at that. Voila! Doo, 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 doo. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and share. And what can I tell you? Hey, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to try and put some links in this video so that it's much easier for you to find the link to the amazing free monthly emailed newsletter that me at the Paper Outpost, puts out for you guys. Every month you're going to get a free digital image emailed to you monthly that you can print and download and use in your artwork at will, and have fun with it, get creative, be playful. I'm going to give it to you in different sizes too, so you have some variety. So, because I know sometimes sizing things is an issue. I get it. I've been there, believe me. And okay. So also I want to add on here that you can, often quilts are not perfect. They're old. They have marks and stains and things like that. Well, launder your quilt first. That's very important. That's the kind courtesy for whoever you're going to give it to. But if you still have some like aging stains and you're not okay with the aging, some aging actually looks very cool on quilts, which I think is beautiful. If you're not okay with the aging, then you can increase the aging. I know. Like you can take coffee water, instant coffee mixed with water, or your coffee pot water, and just take a toothbrush and flick it on there, dip it in your water and flick and make some droplet marks and make it look extra stained on purpose. You can go around with some ink and ink it up and make it look grungy and dirty and steampunky as well. So you can do a lot of things to age your quilt and bring it into its own self. Okay, so the newsletter also contains a note from the bookmaker which explains what a junk journal is and maybe some ideas on how to use it. And I put it in Word, doc, and PDF format on every newsletter so that you can manipulate them and play with them and change the font and style and the wording and things like that. But at least it's a place to get you started, and you're more than welcome to use it exactly as is. I have a Facebook group where we're having a lot of fun doing weekly and monthly challenges, as well as seeing what you guys make from these videos. I have an Etsy shop where I have my Vintage Digikits, which are printable downloads that you can print out and have some fun with. They're easy pictures to use. For example, I think this is Forest Friends. You get multiple pictures on a page. I try and give you different sizes so you have things to work with. And they're all different themes, nature, botanical, you name it. There's all different types in here. And I will print those on a lightweight cardstock and mail those off to you. Just pick out 10, send me an email with your list of 10 names to pam@thepaperoutpost.com, or message me in Etsy with the 10 names, and then buy the print and mail option, and I will print and mail those out for you. And thank you for everybody who's reordering. That helps me understand that hopefully you guys are enjoying these and you're finding them valuable and useful. And there we go. And I also sell FUNDLEs, which are the collections of the old papers. If you're interested in old ledger paper and old interesting papers of any kind, any sort, old writing, old book pages, hand-dyed papers, postcards, you name it, all sorts of fun things. I do 100-piece packs and I mail them off to you. They're called FUNDLEs with an F. And they're in my Etsy shop. I have an Amazon shop where I have links to favorite tools and supplies. So if you're thinking, hey, where'd you get those cool fabric scissors? Or what is that craft knife like? Or how about that Sharpie pen? They're all going to be linked in there. Hey, but a bone folder. Yep, it's in there. So there you go. And you can find me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And all the links are in the drop-down description box below. And remember, oh, wait a minute. Snuffers, do you have something to say? Yes, I do. Okay, all right. Are you prepared for your speech? Not at all. But I want everybody to know that it's wonderful that you're all making things, or you're thinking about making things, because, whoops, Mom, keep me steady. Okay. Because it's good to craft. Yes, look at my ears big and look at my ears small. I look like a different dog. Look, I look like a little pug. I am a pug. I am a pug at the moment. No, I'm not. Whoop, what are you doing, Mom? What's that thing? The Grublin, Mucklucks, Ewoks, something like that. I'm one of those little guys. I don't know what I am, but I'm so happy that you guys are crafting. Thanks, everybody. Take care. I'll have a better speech next time. I didn't have any time to pre-think. Thanks, Mom. No time to pre-think. Okay. There's no pressure, Sonny. It's all good. It's all good. So if you like the squishy kind of journal, you can take this off now. Not necessary to keep on. This is going to give you, this is a writing journal. It's going to have a lot of room, but it's going to have some inspiration. Here's some pages from, date of death. That's nice. 1945, all these people. Here's their age. Interesting, right? Okay, oh, that's right. I got this from a cemetery. That's right. This started in 1928. It was a record book of the, I want to say Plute Mill or Mute Mill Clay Creek. Starting cemetery in 1928. So if anybody knows where Mute Clay Creek or Plute Clay Creek is, somebody say that 10 times fast. This is kind of cool. So, yep, buried. So, acute dilation of the heart. Yeah, so this one actually told you what the person died from, or what they thought they died from, which was kind of interesting. Chronic myocarditis, uremia, chronic, what's that say? Milstorial nephritis. Okay, don't know. Pneumonia, cancer, hemorrhage. Well, on this happy note, we will, cremated. There you go. We will sign off and wish you adieu, and we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Have fun, happy crafting, and enjoy your day.